Imagine you're at a lost and found desk, frantically waving your arms, trying to locate your missing property. You say, "I lost a book." The person behind the counter just stares. The shelf behind them is completely full of books. The problem is that words like book, bag, or phone are entirely generic. A noun on its own gives the listener no context to distinguish your specific item from millions of identical objects in the world. The linguistic tools built entirely for this job are adjectives. Their grammatical purpose is to take generic nouns and modify them with specific, narrowing details. Without these descriptors, you cannot distinguish between items. They provide the specific data points required to differentiate one object from another. Let's look at their baseline function. If you take the generic noun book and add a simple color modifier, you instantly give your listener a specific visual target. You have a blue book. But real life is rarely that simple. Often, you have to help someone choose between two very similar items, like two blue books sitting right next to each other on a desk. To solve this, we use comparative adjectives, which apply specifically when comparing exactly two nouns. As you can see in this visual equation, we take the base adjective, attach the suffix er, and follow it with the word van. So if we are evaluating their size, the book on the left clearly scales up to become bigger than the book on the right. What happens when a third option drops in? Because we are now comparing three or more nouns, the comparative rule no longer works. Instead, we switch to superlative adjectives to single out the absolute extreme of the group. We add the to the beginning and cap our adjective with est, proving that this new shape is the biggest. However, those neat suffix rules do not apply universally. The English language features several irregular adjectives that refuse to follow the standard pattern. For instance, we never use a word like gooder. Instead, the entire base word completely changes form, moving from good to better to best. We also hit a structural limit with longer words. If an adjective has 3 or more syllables, like expensive, it is simply too long and clunky to attach a suffix to. Instead of modifying the word itself, we place more in front to form a comparative, more expensive, and the most to create the superlative. Recognizing these syllable counts and irregular forms prevents grammatical friction. Doing so separates basic, clumsy communication from fluent, precise English. Let's say you finally found all the perfect descriptive words for your lost item. You know it's a heavy, big, square, black object. But if you string those words together randomly, calling it a black, square, big, heavy book, your listener will immediately struggle to process it. That mental block happens because English enforces a strict, unspoken sequence order when you stack multiple adjectives before a noun. This sequence runs like a rigid mathematical formula: number followed by opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and finally purpose. When we map our chaotic list, 1 takes the number slot, heavy fills opinion, big fits size, square claims shape, and black lands on color. Following this precise sequence turns a messy list of features into a single, cohesive mental image that the listener can instantly understand. Now, let's put our lost and found scenario back together. The character makes a second attempt, but this time they are equipped with the right linguistic tools. I am looking for one heavy, big, square, black reading book, and it is the biggest book I own. By arranging the adjectives in this order and using an accurate superlative, the character provides a unique identifier for their item, ending the confusion of the opening scene. Ultimately, these rules transform generic nouns into specific information. Mastering the forms and order of adjectives ensures that your listener receives the exact details you are describing.